I wanted to ask you a few questions about why you decided to write on that subject. Was it an impulse or a compulsion to do it? For years, one woman has quietly stayed on the edges of the royal spotlight. Annabel Elliot, Camilla's younger sister, is a well-known interior designer and a very private person who has rarely spoken publicly, especially about the crown. While Camilla rose through scandal to reach the throne, Annabel stayed in the background, careful and silent, always just beyond the reach of tabloids. But suddenly, that silence ended. According to shocking new revelations from royal insiders and close family sources, Annabel Elliot has broken her silence, and what she reportedly said about her sister has thrown Buckingham Palace into confusion. It began slowly and almost innocently, a quiet conversation in a country house, several glasses of wine, no press, no cameras, just trusted company. But someone was listening. Someone leaked it. Within 48 hours, news that Camilla's sister had just told the truth spread like wildfire among royal watchers. What was the topic of that conversation? Damning. Annabel allegedly said, "She's changed," or maybe this is who she was all along. Such words might not make headlines for an average public figure, but what about the Queen Consort's sister? Someone who has been Camilla's closest ally since childhood, raised under the same roof and witnessed every tragic moment, from Charles to Diana and the throne itself. These words cut deeper than any newspaper ever could. The palace is fully aware of this. Behind closed doors, aides are scrambling to control the narrative. Questions swirl. Did Annabel really mean what she said? Could there be more? Has the Queen's oldest confidant finally turned against her? Or worse, does Annabel intend to reveal much more of what she has seen behind the monarchy's curtain? For years, the firm has relied on loyalty, confidentiality, and silence. Now, it seems that silence is breaking from within. Unlike tabloid rumors or anonymous courtiers, this betrayal comes from someone whose words cannot be ignored. Annabel Elliot is more than a royal relative. She is a witness to Camilla's ambitions and her ruthlessness. Private power plays never seen by the public are now coming to light. This is the story of the sister the palace kept quiet until now. And if what she's revealed is even partly true, Camilla's carefully built legacy could be on the brink of collapse. Long before the scandals, crowns, and palace intrigue, Camilla and Annabel Shand were simply sisters, two daughters of the wealthy Shand family. Raised in the refined society of Britain's upper class, their childhood was filled with fox hunts, debutante balls, and finishing schools. Even in those early years, there was a clear contrast between the two. Camilla, outgoing and lively, always at the center of attention, and Annabel, quieter and more observant, living in her sister's shadow. Their father, Major Bruce Shand, was a decorated and respected officer with royal connections. Their mother, Rosalind Cubitt, came from landed nobility. The Shand sisters were brought up understanding the importance of discretion, loyalty, and social etiquette, lessons that would shape their entire lives. Camilla always thrived on charm and relationships. She had a knack for winning people over and bending social rules without seeming to do so. Even as a teenager, she radiated a playful confidence that captivated those around her. Annabel, on the other hand, stayed more in the background. Artistic, thoughtful, and introspective, she preferred interior design and family life over champagne toasts and whispered royal secrets. As Camilla advanced through British high society, eventually taking on one of the most controversial royal roles in recent history, Annabel observed quietly from a distance, supportive but silent. Their closeness was undeniable. Even during Camilla's toughest moments, the affair with Prince Charles, Princess Diana's death, and the ensuing public outrage, Annabel remained steadfast, never publicly challenging the official story. While the media attacked Camilla, Annabel was said to be one of her few emotional safe havens, a steady presence offering silent support behind closed doors. Their bond went beyond family ties. Camilla brought Annabel into the royal inner circle, appointing her as a trustee of the prince's foundation and often including her in private retreats and family vacations. The two were famously close, some even calling them inseparable. In a monarchy that prized silence above all else, Annabel became Camilla's most trusted ally, a keeper of secrets sealed tightly by blood. Yet those close to the sisters have spoken of a deeper, growing unease. As Camilla's public role expanded, her private demeanor reportedly hardened. She became more distant, a family friend said, less forgiving. Annabel, a careful observer, sensed something less human, but remained silent. Until now. Annabel's recent statements are shocking, not just for what she has revealed, but for who she is. She is the only person who has witnessed Camilla's full journey, from mischievous debutante to queen consort, from Charles's secret lover to the monarchy's most powerful woman. She was there when the world despised Camilla, there when the palace worked to restore her image, and most importantly, she was there while Princess Diana suffered in silence. Annabel is now speaking out for reasons no one fully understands. Some say it's guilt, others believe frustration, maybe even self-preservation. Whatever the cause, the veil has been lifted. The woman who vowed never to speak about her sister publicly has now revealed something the palace cannot ignore. Annabel Elliot has spent her life as a loyal shadow, but shadows see everything and communicate with undeniable clarity. While Camilla rose to the throne, the one person who knows her best, her sister, might also be the one to bring everything crashing down. Because when family tells the truth, the world listens. And now, the world is listening to Annabel Elliot. The moment was never meant to be public. A pleasant evening with old friends in the Cotswolds, wine flowing, laughter echoing through the stone walls of a rural manor. The kind of conversation that only happens when reputations are safe behind closed doors. But this was no idle chat. It was the moment Annabel Elliot, Camilla's famously private sister, reportedly revealed the truth. And what she said has shaken the palace, stunned insiders, and left the public questioning everything they thought they knew about Queen Camilla. She isn't the woman she claims to be, Annabel supposedly told the group. Or maybe, that's who she always really was. Disturbing remarks revealed by a source close to one of the guests sparked a firestorm. According to the source, Annabel wasn't being spiteful or strategic. If anything, she sounded tired and resigned, as if years of watching her sister manage, maneuver, and conceal herself had finally caught up with her. Annabel reportedly described Camilla as obsessed with control, focused on beauty and status to the extent that even close family members felt expendable. You have to understand she never lets things go, Annabel is said to have remarked. Not minor insults or old gossip. Everything is planned, even kindness. But it wasn't just the personal critique that shocked those present. That was what Annabel said about the past. One attendee recalled her voice lowering when she spoke about Princess Diana. We all saw it, she murmured. We saw how broken Diana was, how isolated, and we stayed silent. Another source believes Annabel implied that Camilla showed no remorse during those years, only irritation that public opinion had turned so harshly against her. While the world mourned Diana, Camilla apparently focused on repairing her own reputation, without reflecting, apologizing, or stepping back. Diana was a storm Camilla waited out, Annabel reportedly said. And when the world settled, Camilla slipped right back into place, closer to the crown than ever. What was meant to be private dinner talk quickly spread through aristocratic circles. Within days, the information reached courtiers. Within a week, Buckingham Palace was aware. Sources say Camilla felt blindsided, furious, and betrayed. This wasn't some royal reporter making wild claims. This was her own sister, someone who had remained loyal through decades of controversy, never spoken publicly, and defended her behind closed doors. Yet in a single evening, she apparently said more than all the tabloids combined. What caused this sudden change? Why now? Speculation runs high. Some believe Annabel grew increasingly unhappy with Camilla's use of her royal position, promoting her family, advocating for titles, and allegedly trying to secure royal status for her grandchildren. Others think Annabel's growing admiration for Kate Middleton, a figure often compared to Diana, made her reflect on the past and confront her own feelings. Whatever the reason, the result is clear. Camilla's most loyal voice is no longer silent. What she allegedly revealed threatens the carefully crafted image Camilla has worked so hard to build. So far, the palace has declined to comment. However, insiders report that Camilla has privately demanded answers from her sister, and all communication between them has ceased. One source summed it up. The Queen is not only angry but frightened. When your own sister starts speaking out, who knows what else she's been keeping to herself? In the House of Windsor, silence has always been prized, and Annabel Elliot shattered that in one night. For decades, the public saw Camilla was long seen as the other woman, a scandal-ridden mistress despised by Diana's supporters and dismissed by many as an unsuitable partner for the future king. Few understood just how calculated, systematic, and relentless her rise to the throne truly was. Behind the carefully controlled smiles and signature pearls stood a woman who refused to be ignored, by the royal family, by public opinion, or by history. According to recent revelations from Annabel Elliot, Camilla not only endured the scandal, but also strategically climbed to the crown. Camilla was thrust into the global spotlight after Princess Diana's explosive 1995 BBC interview, in which Diana famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage." Rather than retreating, Camilla adapted. Her public relations strategy was overhauled. She reduced her public appearances, and the palace launched a calculated, detailed campaign to rehabilitate her image. But sources say the effort wasn't solely orchestrated by royal aides. Camilla led the charge herself. A former royal aide admitted she was playing a long game. While Diana captured the world's heart, Camilla quietly built alliances inside the palace walls. One of her greatest assets was silence. Where Diana was open and emotional, Camilla was composed and patient. She let criticism simmer until the media lost interest, while others reacted with anger. While many assumed she was fading into the background, Camilla was making calls, forging relationships, and winning loyalty. Her sister Annabel was reportedly one of her closest confidants during this period. According to recent royal rumors, Annabel witnessed firsthand how Camilla would quietly push aside anyone she saw as a threat, even within the family. If someone didn't fit her plan, they were quietly removed, a source explained. Not with drama, but with strategy. Even Charles, known for his indecision, was no match. Those close to him said Camilla became his emotional anchor, shaping his public statements, organizing his inner circle, and eventually convincing him to pursue her position as queen, despite strong opposition from Diana's supporters. Years later, when Queen Elizabeth II expressed her sincere wish that Camilla be recognized as queen consort upon Charles's accession, many assumed it was her own decision. But insiders believe Camilla worked tirelessly behind the scenes, leveraging decades of quiet influence to secure the final seal of legitimacy she had long sought. Still, even after achieving what no mistress in royal history ever had, a coronation, Camilla's hunger for power did not wane. Staff at Clarence House and Buckingham Palace noticed a sudden change. Requests became commands. Appearances were meticulously staged. Notably, her efforts to elevate her children and grandchildren to royal status intensified. It became clear she wanted more than a title. A former courtier said she aimed to fold her bloodline into the royal family, essentially rewriting the family tree. According to insiders, this may have been the breaking point for Annabel. She could no longer stand by as her sister used the monarchy as a stepping stone to build a personal legacy, even if it meant alienating William, Kate, and Diana's memory. Her recent statements are therefore more than just a betrayal. They are seen by some as a confession, a quiet acknowledgement that Camilla's entire rise was not only ruthless, but also carefully planned at the expense of others' pain. It's no surprise Camilla was furious when these private comments surfaced. She knew better than anyone that her power was always built on perception. And once that perception crumbles, everything else falls apart. Camilla did not stumble into the monarchy by chance. She climbed her way in. One calculated step at a time, Camilla climbed her way to the top. Now, as those closest to her begin to speak out, the public is finally realizing just how tough and ruthless that journey really was. Among all the whispered remarks and private comments Annabel Elliot may have made about her sister, none carry the emotional weight of those related to Princess Diana. At the heart of this royal storm, beyond the headlines, the throne, and the betrayals, are two women, one whose pain was clear to the world, and another who silently watched everything unfold from the sidelines. Annabel and Camilla were more than just sisters. They were bound by family loyalty, a shared upbringing, and a long tradition of discretion. But when faced with Diana's suffering, loyalty and silence became dangerous traits. By her own apparent admission, Annabel now carries that heavy burden. "We watched it happen," she reportedly told a friend in a conversation that has now become part of history. "We saw how she was falling apart, how hurt she was, and still we said nothing." These words go beyond simple regret. They offer a rare glimpse into a conscience that has finally awakened after decades of silence. Family sources say Annabel's quietness during the Charles, Camilla, and Diana triangle haunted her, especially after Diana's tragic death in 1997. It was no longer just a scandal. It became about a woman who never received justice and a sister who chose to defend power over truth. Annabel is believed to have known more than most. She was present during the Camilla Gate recordings, when Charles admitted his infidelity to the world, when Diana sat alone at St. Paul's Cathedral, and when her coffin passed through Hyde Park, where hundreds gathered to mourn. Through it all, Annabel remained the loyal sister, quietly supporting Camilla and protecting her from further embarrassment. But something shifted inside her. Those close to Annabel describe a deep inner conflict, a woman torn between love for her sister and a growing sense of moral responsibility. A longtime friend said Annabel often avoided discussing Diana. "It was like a locked drawer in her mind," they explained. "She wouldn't go there, and if you tried, she'd change the subject or shut down." But in recent years, that drawer seems to have slowly opened. Seeing Kate Middleton rise with grace, and William and Catherine shielding their children from the same turmoil their mother faced, appeared to strike a chord with her. One insider said Annabel has grown more reflective, perhaps even mournful, about her past role. "Diana never stood a chance," she reportedly said over brunch last fall. "She was too open, too human, and we were too afraid to stand up for her." Because these words come from someone who witnessed everything firsthand, not a reporter or biographer, they carry powerful weight. From within the family, from someone who stayed silent for so many years, the stillness has finally broken. There are rumors that Annabel may have kept letters or journals from those times. Some say she wrote often to process what she saw but never intended to share them. Others believe she's only speaking out now because the burden has become unbearable. As expected, the palace is trying to contain the fallout. No official statements have been made. But insiders say the Queen Consort is furious, not only because her reputation is at risk, but also because the guilt she has long suppressed might now be exposed by her own sister. Camilla has always viewed Diana's memory as an inconvenient shadow, one she has worked hard to push aside. Titles, ceremonies, and smiles. But for Annabel, that shadow might have been a reflection, and in it, she found a truth too painful to ignore. "I loved her in my own way," she reportedly said. "But I did not protect her. Neither of us did." If even part of that is true, it's a public reckoning, because the world has never forgotten Diana. The woman who stayed silent until it was too late now finds herself unable to remain silent. As the monarchy reels from Annabel Elliot's alleged revelations, one couple stands out, unscathed and stronger than ever: Prince William and Princess Catherine. While the House of Windsor appears divided behind closed doors, William and Kate have carried out their public duties with grace, determination, and a quiet confidence that has not gone unnoticed. A clear shift is underway. According to royal observers, Camilla's legacy, the one she spent decades building, is now being overshadowed by the future king and queen. Annabel's statements, as shocking as they were, merely confirmed what many had already suspected. Camilla's rise was fueled by ambition, manipulation, and cold calculation. In contrast, William and Kate's rise has been defined by duty, stability, and a deep emotional connection with the British people. They're not rewriting the rules to benefit their own bloodline. They're restoring public trust in a monarchy tarnished by scandal and history. Camilla sought control, while Kate embraced service. Whereas Camilla's inner circle pushed for royal privileges for her grandchildren, stirring controversy within palace walls, Kate has remained focused on education, philanthropy, and modernizing the monarchy's image. Her refusal to engage in petty palace power plays has earned her global respect, something Camilla never quite achieved. Insiders say Kate was privately deeply upset by Annabel's remarks, especially those acknowledging Diana's pain and the silence of those who stood by. Kate has always been reserved in public, but those close to her say she feels a strong sense of vindication, not for herself, but for Diana and the values William's mother stood for: compassion, vulnerability, and honesty. A royal advisor said, "She doesn't have to speak ill of anyone. The contrast speaks for itself. It has never been sharper than it is now." Behind the scenes, William is believed to be more protective than ever of his wife and children, especially Princess Charlotte. As rumors grow about Camilla's private ambitions and her family's role in palace politics, William is focused on securing a different kind of monarchy for his children, one that reflects Diana's legacy rather than Camilla's. Many believe the entire institution is shifting away from Charles and Camilla's reign toward the future. Public support for William and Kate has risen in recent months, especially since Charlotte received her honorary title and began taking on carefully planned public roles. In turbulent times, they symbolize hope, continuity, and dignity, qualities that have seemed scarce elsewhere in the royal family. Though Camilla's team reportedly tried to discredit Annabel's story before it gained traction, it was too late. The truth is out. The Queen Consort's reputation, already fragile, is now damaged from within. Her closest ally has become a mirror, and the reflection is harsh. What about William and Kate? They've come through the storm not only intact, but elevated. As the monarchy weathers each scandal, they remain steady. More importantly, they've earned the public's trust, something even a monarch can't demand. The legacy is evolving, not through proclamations or coronations, but through contrast. In a royal family marked by secrecy and scandal, William and Kate represent a return to authenticity. If the monarchy survives the storm Annabel has unleashed, it won't be because of Camilla's influence. It will be because William and Kate stood firm in adversity and showed that true leadership doesn't have to shout. It simply leads. For years, Queen Camilla built an image of quiet resilience. For years, Camilla was seen as a woman who overcame controversy, public disdain, and constant comparisons to Diana to become King Charles's devoted supporter. But that story has now fallen apart, and it wasn't a tabloid or royal biographer who dismantled it. It was her sister, Annabel Elliot, who chose to speak out. Whether gently or privately, She ended decades of carefully guarded silence. What she revealed was far more painful than any betrayal or secret, a portrait of Camilla painted by someone who knows her intimately. Beneath the public image lies a woman driven more by control and ambition than by duty or grace. In just a few leaked statements, Annabel raised questions the monarchy has long tried to keep hidden. How did Camilla rise so fast after Diana's death? What price was paid for her crown? How many people chose silence over conscience to make it happen? Now, the silence has been shattered. Behind palace doors, the fallout is real. Tensions between Camilla and William are said to be at an all-time high. Communication with Kate reportedly has stopped. And Charles, weary and aging, is caught between the woman he fought to legitimize and the family he must protect for the future of the crown. The public has taken notice as well. Support for Camilla has declined, while backing for William and Kate has soared. In the court of public opinion, which today may be more influential than any royal decree, the queen consort is no longer untouchable. Annabel may never speak publicly again. She might deny the leaks or simply disappear. But it no longer matters. The damage has been done. The world has seen Camilla's crown crack, and it came from the most unexpected source, her own family. Because in a monarchy, perception is everything. And now, the carefully crafted image of Queen Camilla has been unveiled, not by scandal, not by enemies, but by truth. There is no turning back.